Welcome everyone to our Angelbeat virtual seminar on government education here December 14th. I think this is a very important and positive day. We've got the Electoral College voting today. Democracy has withstood some very significant challenges over the past months. I'm very optimistic that our country will be stronger, but despite all of the sharp differences of opinion on both sides of the political aisle, I think we're going to come back stronger. We have the vaccines coming out today. Today is the first day that the FedEx and UPS trucks are going around the country distributing the refrigerated vaccines to hospitals, pharmacies across the country as we begin the end of this COVID-19 crisis. That's a very positive sign. I thought it was especially insightful. We did a healthcare seminar a few months ago, and one of the interesting comments that people mentioned was the importance of cloud technology, the value that the Amazons, Google, Microsofts, and others provided. It used to be when you're doing genetic modeling, genomic research, trying to figure out how molecules interact in your body. It's a very complicated system. You needed literally and figuratively a supercomputer to model that. And now, as many people know from the Pfizer vaccine, they worked with a very small company who had equal access to computing power, literally by just plugging into the wall and accessing the cloud power from Google, Microsoft, or Amazon. So I think in a very significant way, one of the reasons why we were able to have vaccines so much quicker is that the modeling and testing of these vaccines was dramatically accelerated. Obviously, tremendous amount of government research, obviously great scientists understanding the molecules, understanding drug interaction, understanding then how to code that. But I think it's really a testament to the world's largest technology companies in terms of their ability to make their cloud platform very usable to biochemists, not data engineers, to create these solutions. So I think it's a positive day. I'm glad to be here, and for the first time in a while, for an entrepreneur like myself who's constantly grappling with larger competitors, how do we continue to value? It's a very crowded space in terms of online training, live events. So for the first time in a long time, I am cautiously optimistic about the future because of all these very positive developments this December 14th. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click through a couple of these comments here. First, I just want to highlight several of the companies who we work with at Angelbeat who enable us to pull this together. In addition, and I alluded to the big three, we have Trend Micro, WatchGuard, ConnectIQ, UiPath, and SciGen. All companies who have complementary solutions working with the major cloud providers of their own, be it Trend Micro on security. WatchGuard's going to talk about wireless and mobile connectivity. If you're a major school district, university, they can talk about the E-rate program. ConnectIQ is a very innovative firm who deals with protecting your data. And data is so complicated. You have data at rest, data in motion, data at use, data stored in the cloud, data stored on-prem. It's very complicated to secure it. And they've got some great tools, a smaller innovative firm, to help you protect that data when it's in motion. UiPath, another very exciting firm who specializes in robotic process automation. If you look at all the hacks going on, tragically, several of the federal agencies got hacked. One of the key problems that led to a lot of the hacks in the past is manual procedures got circumvented. So they've got some great tools to talk about automation. How do you avoid these tedious, often expensive, often error-prone tasks that are hard to get done correctly? So we're really excited to have them. And then we've got our colleagues from SciGen who's got some interesting encryption tools. They've been funded by the government. They work with a lot of agencies that have three-letter acronyms. So we're excited to hear from them later today. And we've also asked them to do a couple of gift card raffles, some early holiday gifts at the start, middle, and the end of the program. When we look at our schedule, looks pretty complicated, but we have a lot of great information. As you can see here, when you look at the schedule, dealing with security, which is the opening comments, then we're going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about what's Google doing in the classroom. I mean, most people know about this. The Googles went down. You see how tied we are, but you also see the power of Google in a matter of 20 minutes, they're up and running. I know that for a fact because My kids use Google Classroom all the time. I mean, I was wondering, I was going to talk to my young son. I said, look, if this thing doesn't get fixed, you may have to give a live demo on how to use Google Classroom. But fortunately, I think we're going to hear from them. We're going to talk about wireless. We're going to talk about IoT, smart cities, smart campuses. So I think it's going to be a wealth of information. When you're looking at all of this content, just remember that as we try and package this together, we know the government educational markets tend to be intertwined, especially with many government-owned educational institutions. Just keep in mind, we're trying to make sure that the whole Angelbeat experience is actually greater than the sum of its parts. Our goal is to have a very positive experience. We know that not every content is dead on, maybe not every speaker is perfect, but we really hope that it is a very valuable and useful experience. And we also understand you may have professional or you may have personal responsibilities that force you to log off for a period of time. No problem. We understand that. And again, please encourage some of your colleagues who couldn't join up originally, when they look at this agenda, when they see how great December 14th is this day, when they see all of these great speakers, encourage them to log in. I also want to point out that all the content is going to be available for downloading. Just some quick background on Angelbeat. We do these events in 60 cities. Maybe we'll be able to get back live in the fall of 2021. I just want to see what happens, and we want to see, because our events are very predicated because of our strategic ties to Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, when they're going to be ready to authorize their staff to go out on the road and speak at programs. Our overriding goal is to make sure our events are very safe for presenters and speakers alike. And it's going to be interesting to see how these very successful online programs that Angelbeat is putting together are going to evolve. My own opinion is that we're going to have a hybrid environment where either in the fall of 2021 or definitely by 2022, we'll be doing lots of events, but every event's going to be live streamed. So I think it's a very exciting times. As you can see, for those of you who know Angelbeat, we do a variety of programs. Some of them are industry focused, like today on government education, tomorrow in finance. Some are focused on specific technologies such as security or automation, and some are focused on helping you understand what the major cloud providers are doing to help with your planning. You can get all the details at angelbeat.com, and you can also follow us on social media. We still rely heavily on emails to communicate with our Angelbeat community, though we're increasingly encouraging people to follow us on social media to get the latest information and to automatically get these updates without worrying about if my emails get caught up in your spam filter. Some other details, as I said, we've got chat and Q&A going on. I'll be monitoring that. If you've got any questions, we'll try and respond to them as quickly as possible. Welcome your feedback. I'll be doing some polls throughout the day. We want to let you know that you can attend, as I mentioned earlier, for all the day, some of the day. All this is going to be recorded. There'll be one 5-hour video in total, 4.5. I'll break it down over the next couple of days, so that way if you're specifically interested in Jay's talk, you can get that. Or you might be interested in WatchGuard talking about wireless and E-rate funding. That's going to be later in the day, and we'll break that out so you don't necessarily have to go fast forward through so many different things. You'll get 6-hour CPU certificates. You can get those directly from the GoToWebinar control panel. You'll see there's 2 handouts. One, we encourage people to download the agenda. The second is the CPE certificate, so you can give that to your regulatory body and maintain your professional standing. Here is my contact information. As I said, I'll be monitoring this all the time. I want to make sure all of you have a very positive experience. We do have, and let me just point out our opt-in policies. We have a default opt-in, which means 2 days after the event, we share your contact information with our sponsors. Most people are okay with that they understand how Angelbeat works. At the same time, we know some people prefer to opt out, which is, this is great, Ron, but I only want to contact those companies of specific interest to me. So in that scenario, you just email me back. You'll get an email an hour after the event specifying the same thing. Send it back to me. We won't include you on the post-event Excel, but whether or not you want to keep opting in, which is what most people do, or prefer to opt out, we just ask you to give fair consideration to all the great companies who work with Angelbeat to make this happen.